Dusk is a PS1 game released in 2018, and this is how the game starts.
Kill the intruder.
And just like that, you're familiar with Dusk. You play as Dusk Dude, or the Intruder, a treasure hunter that heard there's some good loot in the town of Dusk. Going there, he is captured by a cult that wants to turn him to Feel, but manages to get free and kill everyone in sight. It doesn't take long to figure out there are supernatural forces here and even the army somehow involved. As the game progresses, you go deeper into Dusk, the military facilities, and then Eldritch horrors. You know, the usual. I'm not gonna spoil any more of the story because if you're interested, go play it, and the story doesn't really matter. The game is heavily inspired by Quake, even one of the wallpapers says so. And the best thing about Dusk is the movement. The speed on which you move normally is just right for dodging and shooting, but if you want to speed up, just B-hop and you move so fast you zoom out of the map. Literally sometimes. It's really hard to talk about how good the movement is. It's something you gotta feel for yourself. But it being so responsive and the level design always accommodating the speed on which you move and later introducing a lot of verticality to it makes it just perfect. You have an arsenal of 10 guns. Well, 11 I guess. And while they are amazing examples of what guns should be in video games, there is a lack of unique guns. The most unique being my favorite gun in the game, the crossbow. It fires through everything and everyone, as well as having a bit of knockback on the player, so you can use it to reach higher places. But some other guns deserve mention as well. Like the shotgun, you grab one and it's all good and fine, spin after each shot, really cool, and then you find another in dual wield, double cool. They fire at a perfect cadence and have a good damage and surprisingly good range, being reliable in pretty much any situation. Then there's a super shotgun. It's a beast of a gun, it sounds incredible, and as it should, it mounts through weaker enemies up close. Multiple enemies sometimes. And finally, the hunting rifle. It's pretty much a long-range super shotgun and it sounds perfect. But be conservative and make your shots count. There's not a whole lot of ammo for it laying around. Unlike most of these boomer shooters, Dusk doesn't have a BFG-like weapon. The closest thing to it is the Riveter, a fast-firing rocket launcher. Or soap, I guess. And by the way, you don't reload in Dusk. If you press R, you spin your guns. You can even kill enemies with this. Awesome. The only guns I will say become kinda useless later on are the pistols. They're not bad, but the assault rifle is the same thing, just better in every way. And you have a bunch of other options to deal with problems anyway. Not even the sickles become useless, since they can reflect projectiles. It is pretty cool to use the pistols with fast fire though. Yeah, the game has power-ups. The one that shows up the most is the fast firing totem. And listen, it stacks. There is also the serum of blistering heat.
Super.
And the climbing thing. It lets you climb things.
Wow.
The enemies are themed around each episode. In episode 1 you're fighting some redneck cultists and scarecrows. In episode 2 you're fighting against the military and deers. And I can't even describe what the fuck you're fighting against in episode 3. Luckily, Dusk doesn't have any hit scanners. You can see and dodge every projectile thrown at you. As well as being easy to identify most enemies at a glance because they have a glow around them. Mages glow green, Grand Wizards glow purple. Easy. And I'm pretty sure some enemies will give you nightmares, like the cowgirls, or the dog. We don't talk about the dog. The bosses, they're alright. The strategy is mostly the same for all of them and you don't even have to fight them. In fact, you don't have to fight any enemy. You can complete the game as a pacifist. There are also some other challenges like Untouchable, if you finish the level without getting hit, Completionist, if you kill every enemy and find every secret, and Low Tech, if you use only melee and the crossbow. There's also a different game mode called Intruder. In this mode you have your weapons taken away at the end of the level, starting the next one with only your sickles. The difficulty is interesting in Dusk. As it increases, melee enemies and projectiles shot at you move faster. If you're experienced with shooters, I'd recommend Zero Miedo, otherwise the game can feel a bit easy on lower difficulties. And if you're new to shooters, the easier difficulties will make a great introduction to the genre. And don't bother with Duskmare unless you want the achievement or you feel like consulting a psychologist 2 times a week. The levels in Dusk are really cool and well designed. Every level, well almost every level, looks beautiful, from the more grounded ones to the deep grounded ones, all the way to the ones that don't care about ground or access. The game has a drab and dark atmosphere, but it's not afraid to use colors and light. Now sprinkle some amazing music on top of that and, well, take a look. Some of the levels also allow for you to break the intended progression and just do your own thing, and in most of them you'll be rewarded for thinking outside of the box. An early example of this is in No Time Religion. To get into this church, you need a yellow key. Or you can say fuck it and jump in from the window. Or if you find some boxes, you can jump over this gate that requires the red key, allowing you to escape over certain areas. The game also has a bunch of secrets. Some of them are painfully obvious to find, while others require some hunting. There are even secrets that don't count as secrets. These are usually related to going out of bounds. Something I consider bad about secrets is that you can find every weapon in episode 1. And not even in super hidden secrets, it's possible you'll just stumble upon them all. In conclusion, Dusk is an amazing game. If you're into shooters, play it, you won't regret it. I had to leave so much ghost shit out of this video so I don't spoil the great moments, but believe me, there are a few, and even if there wasn't, the game is just super fun. This is a game that introduced me to New Blood, and now I'm a great fan of their work. Right now, I'm waiting for the next episodes of Ultra Kill and praying that they add more episodes to Dusk. Anyway, thanks for watching.